Hello everyone, you'll notice that I am in a throne. Just notice that. I noticed a lot of people online reading stories to children. So I decided to not do that. Not gonna do that. I'm gonna tell a story for adults. And it's a true story. Kind of like an audiobook, except not. I had just finished dropping my bonus baby off at her first day of kindergarten, and I slowly came to a red light, and that was when I noticed her for the first time. She was an orange angel standing on the side of the road, waving to every single car that passed by. We'll call her Edna. Edna was a crossing guard for my child's school. This lady was waving to every single car. It was 7 o'clock in the morning, and I wanted to roundhouse kick people in the face. And here she was acting like she was on a friggin' float at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Suddenly, like a child, I felt like I needed one of those waves. As the light turned green, it was like time slowed down. Edna raised her hands to wave at me, and I got overly excited, and I began rapidly waving before she even had an opportunity to be the first waver. Her positive energy radiated from that street corner to my eyes down to my heart, and my morning was changed by her delightful joy. If that lady could be happier than a pig in crap standing on the side of the road in the blazing heat, what the heck do I have to complain about? It changed my whole perspective on life. I found myself looking forward to seeing her face every single morning. And after a week of waving to her, sharing a long distance bond, if you will, I realized I needed to do something special for Edna. And this is where I almost effed up. Bad. So I decided I was gonna get her flowers and a card. I called the gas station by my house and I said, "Hello, do you have flowers?" And the man said, "No, but we do have a forever love rose." I was like, seems a little bit romantic for our new blooming friendship, but you know what? I just might love Edna forever. I don't know. I had a baby carrier in one hand and a toddler with me, and we walked into the gas station. I was so excited. I looked at him and I said, "Hi, I called about the rose." And he goes, "Ah." The wink was super creepy, but you know what? I was on top of the world. He turned around and headed toward the Swisher Sweets and the blunt section. I was like super confused. And I was like, you know what? Maybe he hides them because they're so special. He turns around and he hands me a small box and he's like, "You're in luck. We're almost out. We have 2 left." And in my head, I'm like, there's no way that those flowers are fitting into this box, but I'm like, whatever. So I open it up and there's 2 small tubes. I pull out a tube and I begin examining it. It's a tube like this big and there's a little felt flower inside of it. My first thought was, holy crap, how are you gonna charge me $4.99 for a tiny felt flower that was clearly designed for caterpillars to give each other on Valentine's Day because they're so small? And then my second thought was, you know what, this might be perfect because I could just slide it into the card. Slide it into the card that I got for Edna. So I was like, ring it up, let's do this. I might need a magnifying glass to enjoy the flower, but it'll work. Suddenly he got really freaked out and he's like, "Who's this for?" "A sweet little old lady. She's a crossing guard at my kid's school. I just want to thank her for being so nice all the time. Why does it matter?" And suddenly, I crap you not, he snatched it out of my hand and turned around and put it back in the box. And he said, "Those aren't for sale." He smiled at me and I smiled back and I started fixing my hair because I knew for sure that at any second Ashton Kutcher was gonna jump out and tell me that I had been punked. What? I didn't even have time to question it because I was in a rush, okay? So I left and then I got home and I couldn't shake the feeling that some really weird crap just went down. I was like, I'm just gonna Google a forever love rose and see what the big deal is. And then 1 second into Googling, I realized that this dude just saved me because I was literally 10 seconds away from gifting sweet Miss Edna a crack pipe. An actual crack pipe. Like, can you imagine if I had given this to Edna, okay? And she was like so excited. She was like, "Oh my gosh." And then she walks into the freaking crossing guard lounge where all of her friends are like hanging out and eating their lunch. And she just freaking slaps down a freaking crack pipe on the table. And she's like, "Look guys, look at what I got today." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so cute and it's so simple. I want one." And then they all go out and get one. And suddenly every crossing guard in the town has a crack pipe in their pocket, and freaking then they all get arrested. And it's my fault that the town doesn't have any crossing guards. So then I feel obligated to step up, you know what I mean, and take over. So I start calling all my friends and I'm recruiting them to come help me, but none of us know what we're doing. So cars are crashing into each other and children are diving for safety, and I'm just in the street So once I shook that scenario from my brain, I just decided to give her the card. I thought it would be really cute if my bonus daughter just gave it to her. The next morning, we pulled over by her and I gave her the card to go out and give to her. So I'm watching my bonus daughter just skipping gleefully toward this woman. Then I saw my kid's face turn from like excitement to fear as she freaking trips over a branch that had been jutting out of the ground and face planted in front of Edna. Edna ran over to her with like this look of concern on her face, and then she's like looking around for the piece of crap parent that let the kid run around. At first I wanted to slink down in the seat and like hide, but then I realized that's not like a good thing to do, so I decided to be a good mom and go peel her off the ground. My bonus daughter, as I was walking over, ended up handing her the card, like limping back to the car. So I'm like, we really like you and wanted to thank you for being so cheery and positive. You really brighten our mornings. And she's like, thank you. And then turned around, and I turned around too, and suddenly she said, ma'am, and like my heart jumped because I was like, oh my God. She realized what a nice gesture this was. We're gonna be best friends. And so I turned around and I was like, yes. And she's like, you really shouldn't have your kids out here by themselves running around all willy-nilly, okay? What if she would have fell into traffic? You would have felt real bad then. You gotta be more careful. And I nodded. She was right. I was a piece of crap parent. And it should have never let her out of the car by the road. And I learned a very, very valuable lesson that day. Edna.